Nevertheless, Thunder Predator do appear to have picked up that Beastmaster, which I dare say is probably a direct counter towards the Void Spirit, right? Because you have that Primal Roar, just holds him down and allows you to get the damage output to kill this hero off.
Yeah, and it's going to enable not only the lockdown, but just being able to potentially play five man. I imagine is a big part of it here. I also don't know that there could be some interesting thing going on here to do with like particularly the head-to-head matchup in the lane. I don't know if that's what they're targeting a little bit. It could be. I really do not know a whole lot about Void Spirit. It could be that Beastmaster has like a really good laning matchup. You would think that it would, it wouldn't really make sense with the with Void Spirit having the shield and Beastmaster really relying on physical damage, but maybe there's something there. Or Thunder Predator just looking to play super duper fast and just wanting to win the game that way. And Void Spirit's not necessarily amazing at initiating into like a five-man death ball, or doesn't have the most spectacular deep push in the world or anything like that. So yeah, it does now with the Jakiro pick coming out. It really looks like Thunder Predator are just like, all right, all in push. That's the plan here. Let's just do it.
I like it. I can't disagree. Fnatic though, going to that Grimstroke and now with the fourth pickup, I wonder what they go for. And I mean, again, we do see the Grimstroke pop out. Even though we talked about it last draft, it just doesn't seem like a good hero. But every team seems to be prioritizing it at the moment.
Yeah, I what is it even for?
That's the
At the
question.
moment.
I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Fnatic pick to make this seem a little bit more worthwhile. Because right now it's just kind of looking like a little bit nothing. They don't have a lot of synergy for the Soulbind. Um, yeah,
But that's the thing, though.
Fnatic.
Like every game I've been watching, they haven't really gone for that Soulbind synergy. They just pick up the hero.
Right.
They use Soulbind, but there's never really a reason for it. Like you'll get the double silence out from the Grimstroke, but that's really it. And again, like what does Mars do with that Soulbind? Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what the Mars pick is like about either. And Fnatic now they've put themselves in a weird situation where they just don't really have a whole lot of building damage either. Like their push is just kind of weird. And even I mean I guess laning still mostly makes sense. I guess it's what like are Puck and Grimstroke the two supports, and then they're just looking for their position one to round things out. I can understand the idea of wanting just a bunch of like. I think the Grimstroke actually. I think the reason for the Grimstroke pick, and this is maybe a little bit more obvious just looking at it now. Uh, the Beastmaster pick from Thunder Predator very clearly signals the idea of, hey, we're going for a push strat. There might be some more summons involved beyond just the Beastmaster. And Fnatic are like, well, what deep push support do we want? And I think their concept might just be, okay, we think of Grimstroke as being the best deep push support, and I think he might actually be the best deep pushing support or one of the best. Stroke of Fate is just so good, and then the Mars is just to be able to take the fight to Thunder Predator, because one of the ways that you can beat a push lineup is to just go and fight them, because if the enemy team has both better push and better team fight than you, then you've just straight up been outdrafted. Like they shouldn't have better building damage and better 5-on-5 team fight.
Right. I mean, you weren't wrong about the push lineup, by the way. The Death
Yeah.
Prophet now comes out for Thunder Predator, and I mean that does also give them some pretty decent team fight. So, I mean, going into this Mars, Mars generally speaking doesn't want to fight into exorcism of the Death Prophet, but that's going to be a thing now. I don't know. I'm looking at this Thunder Predator draft, and I've got to say I'm kind of leaning towards it.
I like the draft, but I think I still favor Fnatic
Right.
overall. Just having watched that they've been playing, though, I do think there is a little bit of a casual air to them in this event. Um, it's the summit. I don't think it's unfair for us to talk about it being a slightly more casual event
Right.
either, right? It's about getting to meet the teams and whatnot, and there is a major just around the corner. So again, I think we're going to see some teams practicing, sure, and trying some stuff out, but not necessarily bringing all of their A material. We could also be seeing some drafts here where it's just like, hey, what do you want to play this game? And it's like, oh, I feel like playing Mars. Please pick me Mars, and that's all of the thought that's maybe going into it.
Right.
But
Fair enough. Last ban outs come out. The excuse me, the Void PL being banned out from either side, and now Thunder Predator only have 4 seconds reserve time if they do wish to use it for this final pickup. They require a pos 1. I wonder who they opt for. I mean, if they really wanted to, the Troll's still available, even though there's not much synergy with the team, but I guess it is one of those pos 1s you could just pick up. And there you go for the Lifestealer. Alright.
okay. I was wondering if they were even going to bother with going for like a traditional carry, just because if they're playing this lineup in like a really all-in way, then they've already got kind of enough building damage, and the goal would be to kind of close out the game before they really needed a carry to come online. So they could have gone for something, I think, that even is more fight oriented than farm. And now we have a Drow Ranger coming out from Fnatic. Interesting. So it's a Drow with like comparatively little synergy.
I guess
I
it
don't know what
does.
the Drow Ranger's for.
It kites the Lifestealer around a bit, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
in terms of... There's not really much to catch it, I guess.
yeah. It's got it shoves waves pretty well. It's more D push. But yeah, the Lifestealer pick's not bad. I think we'll probably just be seeing kind of your Armlet Deso setup from the Lifestealer, just to synergize some more with the physical damage that they've already got. Look to them maybe even getting like something like a Solar Crest on the Beastmaster, and then just getting a quick Roche in there somewhere and trying to take that Aegis advantage and maybe force their way up onto the high ground. I think the other thing about the Drow is maybe just somewhat the laning aspect, though. We will have to see how their lanes work out. The Rubik Beastmaster or the Jakira Beastmaster should be pretty formidable dual lane.
Definitely should be. We'll get into game 1, though, of this best of 2 series. Should be a pretty fun one. And of course, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, SEA versus SA. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath, I'm sure, between these two. We'll get it started. I was meaning to ask you, as the draft did finish, Baskip, just for fun, who do you think came out with the better draft?
You should have known better.
Ooh, I think honestly I do actually like Thunder Predator's draft a little bit more. I'm a sucker for like a solid push lineup. And I really like their supports this game as well. I think they should be able to get quite a bit done. So yeah, I think that's probably my take on it. They've got some okay matchups as well. I'm actually interested to see. So the other thing to point out here is that we do have a bit of a change up. We've actually got Moon playing the Mars, and Ice is going to be on the Void Spirit. So we've got an off lane Void Spirit, which is not crazy unusual, but certainly worth pointing out.
Does the matchup improve, though, up against the DP? Like, I can understand why you wouldn't want the Void Spirit up against Death Prophet, but does the Mars do that much better?
The Mars doesn't need that much farm.
Ooh, top lane. Matthew, probably going to be first blooded here. He's just going to be chased down. They should have enough damage to take him out, but perhaps they don't have enough control. DJ has another orb in a few seconds, but it looks like Matthew gets away, and MNZ will do the same. It'll be a 2-for-2 on the bounty trades anyway, but as you were saying, does the Mars do better than the Void Spirit at least up against that DP?
I don't know if it's so much about the Mars doing better as the Mars maybe just being able to do a lot with some early levels, and also even if the laning matchup is not going that well, he can always just kind of head over here and farm the neutral camp, farm one of the neutral camps off to the side. So he should be fine to just kind of spam it. And I think he probably does a little bit better early on, just because he does always have the spear to potentially get the death prophet out of his face.
That's very true. So he does go for the God's Rebuke level 1, Leo style, taking advantage of that with the first Spirit Siphon of the game. It's just such a frustrating thing versing a DP in lane. There's just no real way to win. Just got to kind of put up with it. But like you said, he can always just go farm the neutrals every time he finds himself struggling a little bit.
Yeah,
so
I
far,
think the
so
other
good.
thing about this is it's nice to have the Void Spirit versus the Lifestealer instead of the Mars. Like, I don't think Mars particularly likes laning against the Lifestealer, so it's not massive improvements, but I think they both get an improved matchup by setting it up this way.
Well, fair enough. I mean, that Resonant Pulse does make it hard for MNZ to get any real harassment in. Once you have it leveled up, I suppose, as Matthew. And he get caught by that Remnant. Just going to be a bit of harassment. Fade Bolt did fly out from Matthew anyway, so damage output wasn't really there. But, well, Ice. Gonna get open wounded up. They're gonna chase him down a little bit. Matthew doesn't really have lift yet. He was just one experience point away, essentially, from having it, but it doesn't matter. He does find the kill regardless with the Fade Bolt and the auto attack. And that'll be first blood for Thunder Predator.
There was a regenerate battle there, but Leostar managed to just deny it. Moon wasn't quite able to get there in time. Unfortunate for him, given that he's straight up rushed the bottle. So a little bit of a gamble that does not end up paying off.
Bit of a shame for Moon. Leo style, keeping even in terms of last hits. Moon doing the same, but as you can see, by his HP, it's going to be very, very hard for him to keep up. He'll bring his salve out, but I kind of... Oh my, the Crypt Swarm connects as well. So the salve's been cancelled. And I wonder how much longer Moon can sustain in this lane as DJ now top lane. Does get an orb away. He'll survive. But this mid lane, Leo style just appears to have full control now. In fact, he goes for the Spirit Siphon. Moon will Fairy Fire up, but Leo almost has him. Just didn't quite have the mana for a Crypt Swarm. Moon will barely get away with his life intact.
But has to run all the way back now. Looks like he's gonna lose a couple of creeps against the tower, probably.
That's somewhat preferable.
Looking for the stun.
Oh, double stun, in fact. MJZ almost going down. They do find Jab. Salve from MJZ saves him for now. It was cancelled off anyway by 23 Savage. So the Jakiro probably going to have to back off, but... Well, it's a 2-for-0 so far for Thunder Predator. Well, the double stun meant nothing in the end.
Yeah, very, very close, but nice salve. MJZ's looking to deny himself here, but
Stroke of
Jabs is
fate.
waiting, so he's actually going to get it.
If you're not of single
Nice predict.
there's no hope to defeat.
I don't know why, but Leostar, after forcing Moon back at mid, didn't pressure up against the tower, so he actually kept like the full 2 waves and the 2 range creeps there waiting for him. So Moon not missing out on too much. So he is pretty low.
He is. Matthew, top lane, does go down. MNZ going to be chased down a bit, but he'll be okay. Meanwhile, Moon still being chased down by Leo style, and he does eventually get the kill on the Mars. I don't understand why Leo style didn't push into the T1 tower this creep wave, but it doesn't seem to matter. He just continues to dominate the lane. He now has a full level advantage over that Mars. I don't think Moon can sustain anymore, can he?
No, I don't think he can. He can come back to the lane and kind of spam it a little bit, but he's just going to keep getting run down. It's only going to get harder. DJ just forced to orb away at top. Matthew's still playing very aggressively. And 23 Savage getting dove at bottom. No way out for him.
Yes, indeed. And Frank will pick up the kill on the Beastmaster. That was without that level 6 yet. Inkswallow though does connect on the Jakiro. MJZ gonna cop a fair bit of damage, but he'll throw the Jewel Breath out. And looks like they'll both walk away. All fine and dandy. That's a huge kill though on the Drow. Savage not gonna be happy about that at all.
Jakiro, just Dual Breath is such an amazing early game spell. I think people really underestimate the amount of damage and how difficult it can be to fight once you've got the attack speed slow on you. So Thunder Predator, this is definitely a lane that should be able to apply a lot of pressure, start getting some damage in that tier 1 tower nice and early. Might even be able to make something of this this first siege creep. And yeah, they've got the rotation coming in from the Death Prophet. This is looking like a tier 1 tower that Thunder Predator really want to take.
I love it. I love seeing a DP hit level 6 and rotate for a tier 1. I mean, you've got the push lineup, right? You've got to make this happen. You've got to revolve around that exorcism timing. And Leo Star does pop it immediately, and I mean, Fnatic, there's no way they defend this. They're pretty much just going to let it go.
Yeah, I don't think they have the resources.
Frank, going to find jabs, TP away. Frank doesn't have level 6 yet, so can't really stop that. They do fortify the tier 1, but the siege creep is protected. And well, it looks like everything's going to be fine at the bot lane, at least for Thunder Predator's top lane. They are going to make a chase again onto DJ. Lift is there on the puck, and they do secure the kill. MNZ the one to grab it on the lifestealer. Meanwhile, bot lane jabs getting caught out by Frank. I'm not sure if he was trying to protect that tier 1, but he ends up losing his life. And mid lane, MJZ going to end up dying to Moon on the Mars.
Yeah, just supports dying everywhere. I think a bit of a mistake from the Thunder Predator supports not sending someone mid a little bit earlier. They lost a lot of health on the mid tier 1 tower for that Death Prophet rotation. Like, all it would have taken was Rubik being there a little bit earlier or the Jakiro, but they'd lose a lot of life on this mid tier 1 tower. So it makes the Leo style rotation look a little bit less worth it at the end of the day.
Certainly. Of course, top lane, there was almost 2 more kills happening as Ice and MNZ were going at it. Both of them walking away with a slither of HP. MNZ, though, obviously not going to mind. He can just heal himself up slowly with that lifesteal. Well, mid lane, Moon again going to get Spirit siphoned up. Loses half his HP. Leo style, just rinse and repeat for this DP. Just going to keep doing this over and over again. A nice little spear there from Moon. I'm not really sure what the point was, but I guess it is a little bit of harassment.
Yeah, I think... Oh, man, Moon's really hoping for the rune here, but... Oh, and he misses the spear.
TP away. He's got no choice, but Matthew, he gets the lift off. A perfect rotation from Thunder Predator. And Moon cannot catch a break.
Savage wanting to farm the jungle a little bit, but MJZ gonna say no to that, so they're keeping things locked down, and pretty hefty lead for Thunder Predator, and a really big problem that the mid laner is just getting so shut out this game for Fnatic. Like, Moon is really struggling. They need this Arena of Blood, and they need the Mars to start rotating around and hopefully finding some kills, because the whole point of this lineup for Fnatic is supposed to be that they can fight into Thunder Predator when they start going for these pushes, but it just seems like it might not be the case this game.
It certainly doesn't. It's Thunder Predator just maintaining control, at least for now, as top lane, the lifestealer going after DJ with the tomato creep. He will open wounds up. DJ doesn't have orb for another 2 seconds, and he will have it in a second. He should be able to get away in time as MNZ forced to back off, and in fact DJ doesn't even jaunt away. He was just waiting for Ice with that rotation. Remnant, though, doesn't connect thanks to Rage, and MNZ will be perfectly fine to just walk out. As bot lane, there is a smoke.
Both scans.
Very nice scan indeed. Frank, I'm going to try and find somebody in this Fnatic jungle. His smoke does break, but he'll be out of there in time. And looks like nothing will really happen here. The Thunder Predator, they have Exorcism off cooldown, so I imagine they're probably going to want to try and go after that mid-tier 1 now.
Yeah, and with that move, it seems like Thunder Predator are going to deny any experience away from... Oh, DJ, he wants it.
He does. But MNZ gonna be there. Does he get the outpost in time? No, he does not. They give him the tip as DJ will get chased down. He does try to orb away. No silence there. In fact, never mind jabs. He's going to start chasing MNZ now, who is surrounded. Moon, Arena of Blood comes out. Do you have rage? He does not, actually. He gets silenced anyway, and he does die. Ice is the one to pick up the killers. Now DJ going to get chased down by MJZ. They get the kill onto DJ with that Crypt Swarm from Leo style. Thunder Predator, they lose one, they find two.
Yeah, it might have been okay if they hadn't lost the Drow Ranger mid, but Drow just dying to that roar from the Beastmaster. They even get over here with the third of the Exorcism duration left to get a little bit of bonus damage out. And Moon really not looking comfortable on Mars. A fairly minor miss at the end of the day with the spear on the Lifestealer, given that they did still get the kill, but just has not looked super comfortable. That and missing the spear in that rune battle, which kind of ended up costing him his life.
You find that tends to happen though, right? Like with these skill shot based heroes, when you have a bad start, everything just keeps missing after that.
Yeah, I think there's also something to be said that I don't know how many games Moon has on Mars. Like players at a professional level, I do think they're capable of playing pretty much every hero.
Ice Path. Yeah. It's rough. I mean, they're really just picking on this poor Mars now, and it just seems so easy for Thunder Predator. Like, he's got no way to escape.
Yeah, it's really no issue. And MNZ able to pressure really wherever he... Basically nothing to stop a Rage TP unless they can get some silences and stuns chained off. So,
jabs,
easy game plan for...
Got Roar available, jabs, that they don't even need to use it. He throws a Soulbind out, but that tier 1 mid going to be dropped fairly quickly even without Exorcism, and Fnatic just seemingly having no answers to the aggression of this dire side.
Yeah, they really have issues starting a fight. Right? What are they going to do? Mars just has to walk up. Puck doesn't have a blink or anything, and Dream Coil is not the most reliable lockdown. Other than that, Void Spirit kind of just has to go in, but
look at bot lane, basket, Moon, yeah. Poor guy. They're just following around. He's got a target on his back, Moon. He cannot catch a break at all. And everywhere this Mars shows up, the rest of Thunder Predator are there. They go for the bot tier 2 now. They have Exorcism ready to go. And it looks like Fnatic are going to try and trade that mid tier 1 at least. But then you have a Jakiro defending that. Even Matthew TPing over. And the dire side, they're giving nothing. No space away to Fnatic.
And that's Fnatic's strongest hero going on Thunder Predator's weakest in MJZ. And they couldn't even get that kill at the end of the day. Which is really not a good sign.
It's got to be demoralizing. There's that tier 2. Going down to MNZ. Again, Fnatic were trying to pressure the top tier 2, but they really get hardly any damage out. I mean, I'm having a look at Savage's farm right now, but Bassi, it's 4.3k net worth. He's really got nothing. He's finding himself very far behind, and I guess it's one of the things with the Drow, right? She's not exactly a flash farmer, so when you fall behind like this, it's going to be a bit hard to catch up, as it looks like Ice is going to be caught out, does get silenced, Matthew with the stroke of fate still, and they find another kill, this time onto the Void Spirit.
Yeah, and it's not one of these games where Drow Ranger is like the utility carry. Like, occasionally you see like, oh, we got Drow OT or something like that, and Drow is just there to provide some farm and some utility, and but really it's all about the attack speed for somebody else. In this case, it's Drow as like the hard carry, so really need a lot of farm, and 23 Savage not anywhere near having that. They really need some more plays out of SSIs, and he's trying, to his credit, but it's just hard in the situation that they find themselves in.
Well, they smoked up bot Fnatic. MNZ is there, but he does have level 2 rage ready to go. But DJ gets the silence out with the Dream Core and the follow-up silence, but now a 3-man silence coming out from Leo style. The Soulbind holding them back a little bit. Spear does connect from Moon, but doesn't really hit onto a tree, and Jabs just leaves himself behind on purpose, it seems, to ensure he gets all the focus of Thunder Predator. And Fnatic, I mean, they're trying so hard to find a kill on one of these cores, but it just seems impossible at the moment.
Yeah, they really want to get some value out of their Mars, but it's just not happening. And Thunder Predator, they do have this level 2 exorcism now. I wonder if they're going to think about forcing their way up onto the high ground, maybe take a super early tier 3. Yeah, 15 minutes in, here we go.
You can't really blame him, right?
Yeah, why not?
Why not indeed? Arena of Blood does come out. They do catch the DP, and now Ice is trying to burst him down, and they get him. Leo, he's down. MNZ falling low as well. He does also drop on the lifesteal, and this could be huge for Fnatic, as they're going to find Matthew on the Rubik. And MJZ, well, at least he will be able to run away for now, but it looks like Moon is looking for some sweet, sweet revenge. He'll chase him down all the way through that bot lane. Has Spear available, just looking for an angle. Gives him the God's Rebuke first. Misses the spear, though. It was a hard angle to ask for, and I guess he just keeps going for the kill. Eventually he'll find him just with these auto attacks, but now Frank's going to come in. He doesn't want to allow this to happen. He has the Necromonicon 1 book. Moon, Ice Path doesn't really connect. They'll have the balls to come in and slow, and Frank is not giving up on the chase, but now DJ is around the area with the puck and has Dream Call back up. Matthew steals the orb away. Try and make a chase onto DJ, who misses the silence. And Matthew actually gets the lift off with the Fade bot. He may have enough damage. Not quite. The Hawk going to continue giving vision as the orb will not connect this time. DJ misses the Dream Coil and will go down anyway. Oh boy. In fact, is there more? Savage? We'll TP away. Soulbind was there. Doesn't really do anything, but at least the Drow does get out in time.
All right. Well, that was a. We asked, oh, what? Why not? Well, that's why not. I feel like the rage usage is a little bit weird from MNZ there, but Thunder Predator not gonna rest too long. Just head straight into the Roshan pit. Pretty easy to tank this one up. Should be no issue though. Fnatic, they've scanned it and they are thinking about fighting. They're being scouted by this Hawk, which they should be able to deal with quickly.
Well, Roshan's just going to be left at half HP. I guess that's going to be it for now. Thunder Predator not willing to take another team fight with that Exorcism, or maybe they are, because they've smoked up. That Exorcism going to be available in 5 seconds. In fact, MNZ is going to pick up a double damage rune to boot, so you're looking at some pretty nice situation here for Thunder Predator, as Savage going to show himself in that mid lane. Fnatic, though, seemingly aware there's a smoke going on. They are holding that high ground. Thunder Predator, they're going to try and sneak the Roshan with this smoke. I don't think they get away with this. Jabs, he scouts it out. A huge stroke of Fade into an orb. The Roshan, very close to dying. It does go down. Aegis being taken. No steal attempt being made from Fnatic.
That's pretty scary damage, though, when you look at the Death Prophet and the Lifesteal are kind of getting chunked like that. Really need to make this Aegis. I don't think this is going to be that much pressure from the Aegis. Maybe they go and claim maybe a tier 1 or a tier 2. But really this is about farming, to me at least, farming the BKBs on the Death Prophet and getting these other couple of items up here and there. Beastmaster looking for the Necro 3. Lifesteal finishing up his Heaven's Halberd. And then maybe they make something happen. Matthew?
Nice. Does connect his Remnant onto Matthew. Tries for the TP away. Can they get the spear? They can this time. Moon does connect. Matthew does lose his life. And you know, Basketball, I had a quick look at the net worth graph. Suddenly 23 Savage is second in net worth, so he's caught up quite well.
Yeah, this hero does farm pretty nicely. Once you get your multi-shot maxed out. And there's quite a lot of space on the map for him to work with. At least they've taken, especially taking that mid-tier 1 tower. And the top tier 1 relatively early on has opened up the map a reasonable amount.
Fnatic looking to claim that tier 1 bot tower. They will get away with it. Thunder Predator won't even bother defending. They do pressure the top tier 1 though in response. Perhaps they even go for a little bit more. Exorcism not really going to be off cooldown though, so perhaps not. And well, bot lane Matthew, he just respawned. Does get lifted onto Ice Ice Ice. Remnant will not connect from Ice Ice Ice. Still the Rubik falling low, and the multi-shot not quite enough. Matthew does survive in the end. The rest of Fnatic just going to TP out, and they have no way to cancel.
No.
In fact, never mind, they do. Leo style, he has a Yules up. Matthew going to come back in for his revenge now as Ice Ice Ice. Nowhere to go. Does have Astral Step now. Can he actually juke them out? Savage actually finding MJZ while all this has been happening. And Ice 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 may actually just run out of here. He'll salve up. Open wounds. Frank, he does get the roar off, and that should guarantee the kill now. And it does.
But a bit of, I mean, not ideal. I think they had a few people TPing to the same tower, so it was a slightly longer TP than it could have been, and as a result, he does end up dying. But not the worst for Fnatic. Just buying a little bit more time. Wait out the Aegis. I want to see how careful Thunder Predator are going to be. If they decide that they need this full BKB before they go and do anything or not.
Do you think it's a smart idea to wait though for Thunder Predator? Like with this draft, I mean, it feels like the Death Prophet does tend to drop off a little bit the later you go into the game.
I think it's. I think the big thing here is that they've got outer towers to take. I think high grounding without the BKB is maybe a little mistake. I think it's more important that you have the BKB on the Death Prophet than you have the Aegis on the Lifestealer. So they got to be really careful here. All they're looking for in the backlines.
Jumps in, gets silenced up though. Ice 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 immediately jumping onto Matthew on that Rubik. Meanwhile, Spear does connect on the DP. Ice 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 still wants to get Matthew on the Rubik as Raw is going to connect now on the Drow Ranger. 23 Savage, he was left alone. And they just recognize that, they pick him off. He doesn't have buyback gold and they still have Exorcism active, so it looks like they may try again for a tier 3.
Yeah, and I mean, nice positioning from Thunder Predator and realizing their opportunity as the Drow Ranger just gets completely abandoned by the team. And they are going to switch over to also trying to grab this bottom tier 3 in the interim. So they're going to get both. Maybe no racks.
Yeah, they'll go for the range one at bot. Never mind, they're gonna back off. I guess that's still a huge win though. 2 tier 3s going down kind of sets you up for the next high ground push.
Yeah, and Lifestealer only had like 20 seconds left on the Aegis, and yeah, and they're getting pretty close to that BKB, and you know, no Exorcism anymore, so may as well just go and chill out. Drow Ranger is respawning as well. 23 Savage is going for Ags on the Drow, which I find a bit curious.
That's a new one. Smoke though, Matthew, Astral Steps away, Ice Ice Ice, Astral Steps on top of him, and now the Spear will latch onto a tree with the Soulbind and double silence, but there's the BKB coming out from the DP, and Thunder Predator suddenly showing up, and they want to go for this fight. Ice 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 gets roared up immediately. Arena will block MNZ out, so perhaps they don't have the damage, but there's the silence coming in from Leo style, and they do eventually get it. Smoke leads to their own demise. But I suppose we should get back to that talking point. Why Aghanim Scepter Drow?
I don't really get it. The Ags feel so weird now because they kind of gave the hero some AoE anyway. So I mean, I suppose it's kind of a nice farming item. I don't think it's the best like fighting item. But maybe 23 Savage thinking that he needs to be just that far ahead this game to do his job. Like I said before, they are playing this as if the Drow is like the hard carry. The Drow really needs to get to the point where she's like 6 slotted.
Top lane. Moon is caught out in the top lane. He was hiding in the tree line for a while, but Thunder Predator seemed to be aware he was there. They find the kill.
Bounty.
Did they scout him with the courier, maybe? It was just sitting over.
Dire's bottom tower.
It does look like that way.
So much more.
Okay, Moon's having a miserable game. 2-5-5. He's got some items. The Blink and the Vlad's certainly nice, but yeah, he's just really not going to be scaling into the super late game. Thunder Predator gearing up some pretty nice items. Lifestealer making great progress towards his AC.
That's going to be a big one.
Oh, and they get an Orb of Destruction.
Of course they do.
just what you need in this situation.
Well, I was about to comment that MNZ hadn't actually been holding a neutral item this whole time, but there you go. Maybe he was just waiting for the right one. As they do rotate now mid, where they did spot out DJ for a little bit, though hold that thought, because up towards the north a little bit, Matthew going to get caught out on the Rubik, but now Frank just jumps in with the Raw. He does not want to play around. Ice Path to follow up, and they do take down DJ and Ice trying to run away with Jabs. Remnant going to be there. Jabs barely managing to TP away in time. Ice, does he get out? Looks like he may just astral step into the tree and try for a TP, but the Ice Path connects. Leo Style has the silence. No way out of this one. He's going to try and TP away, but it will not be good enough. The damage was there from Leo.
Well, he saved his support, but at what cost? It was certainly a nice play with the Remnant, but the Thunder Predator slowly tightening the noose here, and I just don't know if this Dry Ranger Ags is gonna do enough.
I mean, it does give you a fair bit of D push potential, I guess, but even
Kind
then,
of,
like it's.
You have
Yeah.
to sit there and auto attack against a lineup that's about to have 2 Blink Daggers and the Lifestealer who could potentially hop inside one of those Blink Dagger heroes. So you can very easily just have Beastmaster and Lifestealer and and Death Prophet, all on top of the Drow Ranger. It's not going to be a fun time.
Definitely won't be. It's I guess we'll see if it pays off. I agree with your sentiment here, though. The Ags on Drow just really is never worth it, it seems. But maybe Fnatic make it work, because they do remain grouped up. Perhaps looking to smoke up. No, they're just going to hold their high ground together.
Radiant are
And
scanning.
Thunder Predator are the ones that are smoked up. In fact, Moon running straight into them. He gets roared up immediately. Now the 3-man silence coming out from Leo, and Moon has been left to die, as well as Leo Style just diving the base now with his BKB. Jabs, he's the target. He gets killed off. Leo does get caught by the Remnant, but what can you do to actually take him out? Well, it's a massive Dream Call into an Arena of Blood. They've got 3 in there. Ice, do you have enough damage, though? He needs to get back out, and Moon, he doesn't want to die back like this, but he may have no choice. In fact, never mind, he does run away, but the Ice Path is going to connect on 2, and 23 Savage does go down, buys back immediately. But I don't really know if you can really save this Rax, as Thunder Predator aren't going to back off. Maybe they go for the fight anyway. Ice jumped in, did a little bit of damage to MNZ, and at least forces them to back away after the range Rax.
Yeah, and they've also scouted with one of their couriers that Roshan is. So, do not want to risk taking a dumb fight with no exorcism and then losing the Roshan to Fnatic. That would be a very easy way to prolong this game an extra 15-20 minutes when it really doesn't need to be. Yeah, they got AC on the Lifestealer now. Fnatic looking to make some kind of a play, but gonna be tough. They just have to hope that they can defend high ground for a while and get another 2 items in the Drow Ranger.
Nice. He jumped in. Nice soulbind with the double silence. Spear does connect as well. That lifesteal, they almost take him up at MNZ. He's not dead yet. He'll rage up, start whacking away onto Ice, and does find the kill. It looked like a great start. They just weren't able to take anyone out, though. Do you even bother with the Roshan, or do you just go high ground? Oh, the Yule's gonna be there on DJ. I mean, they could just go high ground, but it looks like they're gonna secure the Roshan first. I guess it's fair enough. Better to be cautious.
I mean, whatever they do at this point, they just want to make sure that they don't throw the game.
Yeah.
And they may as well get this in the like 20 seconds that it's going to take exorcism to come back off cooldown. They'll realize pretty quickly that the Drow Ranger doesn't have buyback, so largely not all that relevant, but yeah, just a kind of weird discombobulated game from Fnatic. The mid lane Mars not looking great, Moon not looking super comfortable on the hero. Ice looked okay on the Void Spirit, but not making any, ridiculously flashy plays or finding any big solo pickoffs, anything like that. Just kind of some solid game plan dotes from Thunder Predator.
Certainly is. They're making it look really easy right now. They're going to go for another high ground push. MNZ actually going to TP back down to the bot lane, though. Ice actually catches him out. Now open wounds are going to be there. Meanwhile, mid lane, there is going to be a roar onto Jabs. Jabs falling low and does go down. Exorcism has been popped. Leo and Matthew, though, falling quite low as Matthew should die here and does, but they still go for the fight anyway. Cheese been eaten by the Death Prophet. They do find Savage once again, and that's a dieback on the Dro as Moon trying to run out of there. And they'll let him walk back into that fountain. They want the objectives. Fnatic will desperately continue to try and hold on. But how much longer can you hold as you really only have the top racks left? I suppose there is a melee barrack support.
Damage with no Drow Ranger. They can't kill anyone. Well, I guess they get Ruby. I guess they get Shakira as I say that.
Castle's Curse again. MNZ. Gonna start whacking away at the top racks. They got a Jakiro. The buyback was there. Moon looking for a spear attempt that doesn't find it quite yet, but now he does latch onto the Lifestealer. Will save DJ for now as Remnant does fly forward from Ice, but again doesn't really latch on. There's only one racks left, and that's the bottom melee barracks. And with two heroes down, Fnatic, I don't see them being able to defend. They're going to try. Remnant, MNZ, falling low, still has the Aegis, and now the Ice Path connects with the Roar. Frank will ensure Ice can't go anywhere. Arena of Blood has been dropped, but it's almost casually dropped. Still, Savage trying to TP in, but cancels it off because the Ice Path was there in time, as they do take out the Aegis Lifestealer. Can they do it again? Frank, he's moving forward onto DJ. DJ dies very, very easily, and now the Drow Savage, he just respawned. He has no way out of that. I think it's GG well played, but they will not call it yet. There it is. Moon will say it himself.
Yeah, the Mars is supposed to be the front line for the Drow Ranger, but Thunder Predator just completely melting him, getting into the back lines, wreaking havoc. Drow is not able to sit there and auto attack at all, and Thunder Predator, the lineup, there was no secrecy about it whatsoever. They put all their cards on the table right at the very beginning. They picked the Beastmaster, they picked the Death Prophet. They knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they executed that to a T. So a very much deserved win here, and I think this continues to throw our standings into further and further turmoil as Thunder Predator, a bottom two team on the current standings, are racking up more wins.
Yeah, they definitely are. Of course, we are going to get into Game 2 in just a moment. It is MLP Dota and it is Basket. We'll be back with you guys very, very soon for more of this series. Won't be too long.